What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I'm not alone. I'm joined by the one and only Ash here, and we're here to talk to you guys about Raid, both the good and the bad. How are you doing, Ash? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. It's been a while. How you been doing, man?
Been too long, man. We were just saying on another collab that we tried to get together for collabs a few times, but just making the time. We're both busy dudes, so I've been doing great, man. I'm thrilled to be on, and I'm thrilled to chat with Raid with you. It's ironic. I actually watch more of your videos than I talk to you, sadly. So I feel like we're in touch, but it's great to be here, man.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, no, totally, man. I know we're super busy. Like we just had back to school week and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Summer vacations over, so we're living that dad life and all that. So, but now we're back into Raid, and a lot of stuff has happened in Raid the past couple of weeks. Obviously, we have this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collab, which is absolutely insane. Like, I don't know what your take about that is. Personally, I'm loving it. I'm like, 90s kid, and the Ninja Turtles was a big part of my upbringing. I have Ninja Turtle toys from when I was a kid and all that. I don't know about you. What do you think about this collab specifically, actually?
You seem like the type to keep your old toy collection from back in the day. You're meticulous and appreciative, you know. I do not, but I'm an 80s kid, so I'm a little bit, but still the Ninja Turtles were around and radical and cowabunging all my birthday parties at the age of 8 or whatever, you know. So just like you, man, Plarium, they did it. They hit me nostalgia. They're pulling on the nostalgia threads, and I like the collab, and I pretty much like almost everything about it, honestly. I think that especially you have Donatello up. I think the fusion, they nailed it, like one of the better fusions that we're probably going to get, this year. And I think that Mikey's pretty good for a freebie too. Like, I don't think he's a trash champion. I think he's a serviceable champ that can help a lot of accounts there. So, and even some end game counts and restrictive content as well. So I think the champions are good. My biggest bummer, bro, was the artifact set. I thought it was absolute trash, and I thought it would have ruined the event dungeon. And then they came like less than a week in, and they buffed the set and made it actually viable. So yeah, I'm actually pretty thrilled about the collab. And plus, I felt like things were kind of dead before the collab hit in the game. Like, not a lot going on, so I felt like it was much needed. And that, along with the free gear removal, dude, like, sign me up.
Yo, that free gear removal was absolutely insane. I mean, that must have been one of the hugest thumbs up ever in this game ever to happen. And I think everyone can agree on that as a massive thumbs up. So far we're starting off, yeah, right? Like,
People in the comments, I don't know about you, but like, no offense, everybody has the right to their opinion. I'm not like trying to dog people, but like, people are like, too bad, too late. They never act fast enough. And I'm like, bro, we have it though. We got it. Like, just allow yourself to enjoy something for 1 minute, man.
yeah.
But I digress. Sorry, go ahead.
No, 100%, man. Like, we have like two massive thumbs up here. Obviously, the collab is massive. The champions being offered for free, Mikey, awesome. Actually, really good for actually beginning players as well. And then Donatello is really, really solid as a fusion. Apparently, they're going to be offering Leonardo and Raphael as guaranteed champions sometime in October. This was a kind of leaked document that Plarium doesn't want us to know about, but apparently they will be offered in October, which is actually really cool, giving us 4 turtles in guaranteed events, right?
As a free to play, when you hear the guaranteed event, are you super skeptical and cynical, or are you like, okay, does that if you know a guaranteed event is coming in a month for somebody that you really want on your account, are you just going to start hoarding? Or like, how does it change the way you play the game, you approach the game?
Right now, personally, I'm hoarding big time for Leonardo. Leonardo is my favorite turtle. I was always Leonardo when we do our little group, pretends and all that stuff. I love this guy, and apparently he's going to be offered in a Hero's Path in October. And I play tested Leonardo. I don't know if you have Leonardo, but I play tested him, and he is amazing. He's amazing. Like, I would actually maybe use him full time, like that, like to that level. Like, for my roster, like, I'm not packed with like mythicals, but I have a lot of good champions too. But I might consider playing Leonardo full time, even without the turtles. He's that good.
I love that, man. And like, just to have, he's the first non-unity, obviously, to be added with Unity-like abilities,
Yes.
which is just cool. I love how they did that. It was the perfect champion to do that with, considering he's the leader of the Ninja Turtles, you know?
Yes.
So, man, it's really cool, and that's good news. And it's cool to know that you're already starting to hoard. Does that mean that you're purposely going to pass up on some of, like, are you doing the pizza deck or whatever the heck it's called
Yeah,
right now? Or
that's one of the things that's going on right now. We have obviously tons of events happening, and this is kind of like fits into the negative as well as a positive, because we can obviously cherry pick which events we want, but then it's a negative because we have like so much FOMO about everything. But in this case, this Smart Fella Titan event, I think it's a very good situation for people just to like take a little bit of a break, because when you assess the 5-star value for Donatello, it's actually not crazy high because he doesn't really need accuracy in his kit. So you can kind of get away with a much lesser blessing if you just want to just use him, more casually. I would say this relic is really good. Last Laugh Amulet, and it's yeah, there it is, and it's an
Yeah, I agree.
exclusive one. It's an exclusive one, so it's good to get your hands on it. While we're on the topic of relics, I want to hear your take as a hyper endgame hyper whale. What do you think about the relics? Does it move the needle for power in that upper echelon of raid? Like, how does it trickle down for everybody? Is it a good or a bad thing to have this system and have it be so scarce?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, even as a spender in the game, the economy was frustrating. It still is to some extent, but it's not like they've ever. I gotta pause. I don't think they've ever sold anything relic related up until the relic pass or whatever. I could
Yes.
be wrong, but I don't recall it. So it's not like, sure, we have like we can finish faction wars. If you're a big spender, you can finish faction wars a little bit earlier and get more material and stuff like that. But it's not like the crappy chimera rewards. No matter who you are, if you're able to get the top chest, it's still going to be the crappy chimera rewards, you know. So like, and it's RNG laden as well. Like you could, I think we talked about on my video that like a guy like Cruisen opened up 600 mythical mats and not one mythical relic. So I think a lot is, yes, I think the economy was really bad, and I still think there's a ways to go. But I actually, like, I'd be lying if I didn't say that it feels like it's getting better slowly but surely. Adding basalt will be a huge change to areas like Centranos. I still think that Star Stones, even though you have almost 13,000 of them, bro, uh, I still think that like that to me is a little bit too scarce in the game as well, personally. But to the spirit of your question, I loved relics, man. I mean, I don't know if it has to do with me being a spender or not, but I think that relics are in a game like this. I mean, you're looking for layers of customization. Really, like I want to build. Back in the day, if someone had a Siffy and you had a Siffy, or let's go even back even more school, if someone had an Altan and you had an Altan in 2019, like they were just built the same way, and that was not there was nothing, there was no mystery, there's no customization. And I think that like slowly but surely with blessings and relics and stuff, love them or hate them, I think it's added some of that actually makes this game interesting to me. So yeah, is it absolutely fair? No, but I like relics. I don't know if that answers your question, but I like relics. What about you?
Personally, I like relics too. I think the added layer of RNG gives players, any player, a chance to beat any player. So there is a little bit of controversy around that because this is, a pay to win game. And the person that pays more definitely should win more. But somebody that is clearly much weaker, having even a minor chance of beating somebody that is significantly stronger with the strength of a relic, I think it adds a little bit to the game. A little bit of frustration for obviously the best players, the best spenders, but it does give the smaller guy a little bit of hope, right? So I do like that. Similar to like Sheep, it does help the weaker player in the matchup. Like we're talking live arena here and stuff like that. Something like Sheep, like a really strong RNG effect that can turn the tide of the fight. It helps the weaker player, because if that wasn't in the game, the stronger player always wins. So what? Actually, quick question here: do you think RNG in this game is a good thing or a bad thing? Actually,
I think I think too much RNG is a bad thing, but this game is a game of, it's not or it shouldn't be. You might be playing the wrong game, honestly. Like, I don't want to be too, like passionate with my answer here, but like, shards are RNG. Like everything you do in this game is pulling to some extent that slot machine a little bit, and So to think that this game shouldn't have RNG, I think that it's a game that's a lot of it's based a bit on RNG. And honestly, like I know there's a lot of players out there that hate the wand of submission, or I mean a lot of dynamics, not just wand, but there's a lot of things with RNG, relics and otherwise in this game. And it's never really honestly bothered me, man. It's never really bothered me. Like it doesn't feel like the RNG is so unfair that it's ever like, to me at least, it's never like, yeah, I mean, sometimes it goes in your favor, sometimes it doesn't go in your favor, but I think it's not necessarily you're going to lose the game. Sometimes, sure, like at the end of a live arena or the beginning, for example, but like, and we all had like a siege battle where RNG goes against us, and it feels like the weight is extra heavy, and you're like, I'm like clearing down because the stupid polymorph or whatever, you know. But all in all, man, like I guess I'm kind of tolerant of it. But hey, I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends. I have a high tolerance.
Yeah, high tolerance for pain.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, man, like ultimately that's what it comes down to is, but yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much. How about you for RNG?
Like I said, I think it's a good thing. Like I think maybe it's because my detachment from like the monetary detachment, because I don't have money invested in the game. If I invested money in this game and I was getting the absolute shit RNG, man, like from pulling shards, from everything in the game, like I just had a bad week, like I can't, it would be tough. It would be tough to like keep it together, right?
Like you splurge $100 on shards and you get nothing. You're right. Versus saving them, there is a difference there. But I don't like. I've never once in my mind thought that like I spend therefore I should win more or anything like that. You know, I don't look at the game like that. And plus, you never know who you're going against. Anyway, I just assume everybody spends on the live arena. Honestly, you know, like so I just know I don't look at the game that way. And like we've talked about this before. We've had whole videos about this, but like I look at it in a big way as like a channel thing. It's like easy to churn out guides and whatever if I'm just pumping resources into the game. So like for my content strategy, which isn't as interesting frankly as yours, it is a part that allows me to continue to do it every day, 365 days a year. But that being said, I'd be lying to say that I would probably also spend a little bit, not as much as I do, but even if I didn't make content, just because unlike you, I don't think I have it. It's just say I have it in me, but like I'm not. I feel like I would miss something, like on fusions or something. I feel like that's where I'd be inclined to like spend a few dollars or something just to ensure I have the energy or whatever. Because maybe it is that FOMO of the game that I would probably be still inclined to,
Yeah, no,
to spend.
No, for sure. Like I'm not saying like spend nothing in the game, but like, yeah, this game totally can be played like free to play, or you can totally spend as much money as you want into this game, and you can have lots of fun with it. So I love that it's like that. So a lot of positives so far being thrown at Raid, especially recently.
Here, man. Let's get some negatives.
Let's get some negatives in here. What do you think? Okay, as a spender, what do you think about this new Forge Class Platinum rewards, guys? Platinum rewards. This is it. The platinum rewards right here, this last row of rewards. A lot of chimera rewards here. We got the stones, we got the fried chickens, fried chicken nuggets here, and then we got a couple relic pieces here. But in the end, you only get 100, one craft of one legendary relic craft. So what do you think? Did you purchase this? Actually, first of all, maybe you don't want to disclose that. That's okay. But what do you think about this?
Yeah. I haven't yet, but I may, I don't know. I was going to make a video about it, but like, then I saw, no offense to any other creator, cause I was going to make a video about it, but then I saw like everybody making videos about it. And I was just like, we talked about this a bit off air, but it's like, dude, I mean, I could sit here and find something to complain about every single day. And that's not to say that it's not important to voice criticism, which we're going to do in this video too. But it's just like, dude, there gets to be a point where it's like, yeah, they're going to have another $50 champion pass too. And they're going to, like this is Raid. And I don't mean to let him off the hook, but it's not surprising to me. And if it's surprising to other people out there, with all due respect, again, like this is Raid Shadow Legends. They're going to spend, they're going to, and it's funny because I cover other games that came up with Supercell ecosystem as well. And like, they put out a premium pass. It was only $13 instead, or $12 instead of $5, right? So, but the community went nuts. And then some of them bought it, some of them didn't, and then they life kind of went on, you know. And I think the biggest thing to be on guard here about the Platinum Pass is not the price, not the fact that they did it. I mean, although those are definitely worth talking about, but I think it's like how restrictive or how exclusive rather is what they're giving out going to be. And it's always that balance, you know. And it's like and they said, and I think they already have it in game, that these relics will be available in tournaments and events and stuff like that. So to me, that was a little bit of a okay, that's okay. The rewards aren't crazy, arguably not worth $50 anyway, right? So you put that all together and like, yes, it's ridiculous that it's a $50 pass for some relic material. But I guess those are my thoughts, you know. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, like, people are gonna spend, right? If people are gonna spend, people are gonna spend. I think having it attached to the Forge Pass, like the gear set, I think is a cheeky way for them to get a little bit extra money. Because I think for the people that really want the relic materials, like I would say like the super high end players, they're basically upselling them on an instinct set that they have no use for. And I think that's a very sneaky way of them squeezing an extra couple bucks out of this, or at least making it seem not so bad.
Did you make a video about it? About the like a rant video about it, Earl? I didn't.
Yeah, I made a really quick rant video. Yeah, I did mention that a little bit. But you know, that's kind of my thoughts. I think people are going to spend, like, people are going to whale, right? You're going to whale for that 0.5% chance at that red relic, mythical relics. But you know, I think it's crazy. The cost is crazy.
It's still in terms of the rewards themselves. I guess there's like two arguments, right? It's like one, the audacity for an upgrade to the pass, and two, it's like if you're going to charge $50, this is all you're getting. Like those are the two sentiments I kind of hear. But I actually feel like you wouldn't want to be anything better than this, because then it'd be like, oh, so we had to pay $50 to contend, or otherwise we're screwed, you know?
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm not losing sleep over it. At the same time, I can see why people are absolutely, like aghast at it. And yeah, I don't know.
Personally speaking, like, I'm kind of happy that it's not like super crazy value, because that means it's not a totally paid, extra thing that, gives people a huge boost right in the top end. Like,
yeah. And we talked not to self promote, but we talked about what free to play is like on the collab that we just did on my video. And you had some really interesting insight, I thought, about like relics in general, which I was a little bit unexpected, like I wasn't like, I think that it's safe to say that you like them as a free to play.
Yeah, I do kind of like them. And I think the RNG really holds back even like the craziest spenders, because there's so much RNG and there's no mercy on it. And right now you can't buy it like shards. You can't buy it like shards.
I'm gonna say,
yeah, you can't buy
that's
it like
a huge thing too. I think that it's very important to keep some things like that you can't purchase in the game, like haste glyphs, for example, right? Like I've seen a few end game accounts, I'm sure you have too, like people who clearly just dropped $100,000 in this game or whatever, right, over the course of a few months, and you can always tell because they have no good haste glyphs. So like all of their fastest champions, the empowerment, everything, they're not that fast, or whatever. Like, so, and look at you showing off the haste. Like, this is so ridiculous, man. This is so ridiculous. Wait, I gotta ask, man. It's impressive that you've hoarded these, but like 331 5-star, 4-stars, 79 5-star. How often are you spending these, man? What does it take for you to use a legendary 4-star?
I haven't used a single legendary yet. So this is all I've farmed since Hard Faction Wars has come out. And obviously we get, I think, 1 or 2 from clearing 21 or something. I just haven't thought of which piece I would want to use it on, or which champion that I want to use it on. So
these are it's like
so
it's like I haven't used any haste glyph ever.
I haven't used the big ones yet. Okay.
I know.
The only piece that I think is worthy of the legendary haste glyph is this piece here, and it's a Quinn roll on a pinpoint set.
Yeah, burn it. Are you gonna wait for a second? Like, burn it right now. Burn a legendary.
All right, we'll burn it right now. Okay, we'll do it right now. This is the first time with Ash's luck here. Let's go. Off CVC, we get no value from this.
12, no 7. That's all I don't want.
9.
All right.
All right, all right. That's enough.
It's all right. It's all right. You got +2 speed. That could be, that's good.
+2. So
441, not bad. What is your
CP.
banner?
Speed on the banner. Oh, my banner speed. Oh, this was bad.
Banner.
Double. Only double. Yeah.
Well, golly, man, you can get a big speed right there. I mean, but you wouldn't want on that, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you can get banner.
Yeah, there's
You
some
want
room
that
to glyph on the banner, but it's only a 2-piece. So I don't want to waste it there. But even this glove, I can do like a bigger glyph as well.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
So
you can get a really fast. You can get your Siffy relic. What do you have for a relic on it?
Relic. I got that wand, of course.
The wand. Okay. A little 15 wand, man.
Oh yeah, 15.
Congrats. How many 15s do you have relics?
I only have one 15, but I can make another one. I'm just not too sure if I want to do another wand or I want to do a cat's gaze. So that's
I have no 15s, but I have the boozer problem. I'm just hoarding. Like I could, have a few.
Yeah.
But I just like I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, a little bit painful on the relic crafting. Like they haven't even figured out the relic leveling system, like to make you know what I'm talking about, like to make upgrade relics. Yeah, it's a freaking pain in the butt.
It is. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I always say this all the time, but I hate that you can't sort your equipped gemstones, man.
Yeah, you can't.
That you do or not?
Like the only way you can do it is if you do socket type. Like I guess you select socket type and then you have select equipped. And this is the way you can look for all your circle ones. Like this.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's honestly, I didn't realize they added that. It might not even be that new, but
no, they never added.
I would
that.
love to just go.
They didn't add that.
That's always been there?
Yeah, it's just that's the only way you can look for the gem.
So let me double down then. But you should just go to gemstones, your gemstone tab up at the and you should just be able to go equipped, right? Like
where?
No,
yeah. There's no. They should, but they don't.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's like all my best gemstones are on somebody, and like God, I'm gonna have to dig it out. Like, I'm gonna have to go find out who has my best gem. Anyway,
exactly. I mean, this is a pain point. That's a quality of life pain point that I'm sure they'll address sometime.
Yeah. Hey, I do have one thing to be negative. I was really bummed out. I don't think if I released it yet, but I recorded a whole video about this. But on your interview, I think it was on yours. But either way, with you and Nubs. Man, I was bummed out about them, like pretty definitively saying no epic or rare buffs, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how did you feel about that? I mean, like, I was really bummed.
You know what? If you remember, they were talking about it during our conference call with the developer, and they said like, "Oh, would you rather us buff a legendary or rather us buff epics? Legendary, right, guys?" And we're like, "Well, can you do both?"
Same thing about like, well, could you buff like 2 legendaries and throw in an epic?
Exactly, right? I don't know what their rationale. Yeah, I don't know what they're
making is like, okay, if you pull a bad void legendary, wouldn't you rather see that buffed? Shouldn't we focus our attention there? And I think that we all agree, yes, you should focus on the highest rarity crappy champions, but that doesn't mean you should forever, swear off all epic and rares. It's kind of a bummer because like there's a lot of compelling epic and rares that would be good if they were just had a little rework. I don't think that every champion needs to be the best champion or like S tier or anything like that. But like there's a lot that could be either that were great in 2019, 2020 or whatever. They could use a little bit of a pick me up. Or there's a lot of epics too that frankly they've done a good job on in the past. Like they were doing a good job on some of their balancing. Like I remember they reworked Tashada like completely to a reviver. She's not like a beast champion, but it's cool because now you have a reviver if you need. I mean, you have Soul of the Dragon, yes, but like they did a good job with a few epics, and now it's just like I don't know. I was kind of bummed out about that. I think more people were bummed out about the energy cap thing, though.
Yes, a lot of people asked me about that. I specifically asked them about. I asked Banana Jam about the banana cap. Sorry, the energy cap, and then she said no. She said no. I was like, really. Really?
How do you feel about that, man? How do you feel about that, honestly? Because that has to be one of the number one complaints I get about, like, they've never changed the energy cap in a 6-year or 7-year-old game, whatever. How do you feel about it as a free-to-play? It doesn't seem to give you problems. Maybe it does.
I think for late game or end game players, it doesn't really hurt them that much, but it would really help an early game player quite a bit because obviously you get a little bit more energy per your gem spending. So you spend a gem for an energy pot and then you get a little bit more energy. And when you're low on resources, that really helps them out just to get a little bit more. But for a big spender, I don't think it really helps them out that much. And also energy in the super late game, I don't know about you, but for me, energy is just not super important to farm dungeons anymore, I guess. Like you're kind of
I mean,
farming.
I do love having energy for clan versus clan or whatever, or for a dungeon diver event. But uh, at that point, the cap is not the issue. Because I'm not going to need a lot more.
Mhm.
It's not like I'm farming, one battle every time I hit the cap. So I mean, for me, being endgame for so long, it would be nice, but it's not like the number one list on my thing. I could see, to your point, how it could benefit, especially early and mid game, though.
Yeah, so I think it's
Would
just
pay
like a
dividends.
small thing they can do. A small thing they could do, and I think a lot of people would appreciate that. But I think like the silver thing, that was like the hugest W they could ever put out there. I think, at least
Free gear.
currently, yeah, the free gear, the
Yeah.
free gear is just so massive. They talked about the upcoming faction. What is your take
Yeah.
on that faction? Is that slam dunk for
Oh,
you?
like I said earlier, I'm pretty easy to please, bro. I'm old and I'm used to playing raid. I loved it, man. I loved it. I think it looked really cool. I like the Greco-Roman vibe. I love like fantasy, my fantasy movies. I love my Roman history. I love uh, Greek history for that matter. So man, I dug it. But honestly, like I think I probably would have liked, with a few exceptions, anything they came up with. Like I heard a lot of rumors, maybe a water themed faction, Atlantis type thing. And like, I would have liked that too, like, or even aliens. Like, I would have been open to it. So like, I kind of had an open mind on this one. I didn't think there's anything that we had to have. I found it interesting too that they said that there'll be other factions beyond that, because like on the
Yes.
screen, that looks like it's going to be the final faction, but they said they're just going to keep going.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the end point as well, since this was here for so many years. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is it, and it makes sense. So that means they're going to add another row, or maybe, yeah, that would only make sense, adding 4 more, like another row down here, probably, right, at some point.
How do you feel in those interviews, though, when you ask a question that this is I've always struggled with, right? Like when talking to Cirilla back in the day, or Banana Jam. I think I did one with her too, but like it's always tough as the interviewer when you like know a question's coming that your audience has been wanting for so long, and then they just drop the no, 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 never gonna happen. You're just like, and you feel everybody watching, you feel their pain like viscerally, and you're like, oh yeah, like why do you think that's never gonna happen? Like, isn't it tough I mean, there was so much good news that it was easier, I assume, to digest. But how do you think of the interview anyway? Like that was the right. Am I mistaken there, or was it the
Honestly,
second?
like, it was Banana Jam's idea, and it totally caught me off guard that she wanted to like do something beyond. And then she offered some really, really cool tidbits. Like until the interview time, we didn't know there was going to be a promo code, and then we didn't know that they were actually going to give us a little sneak peek at the new faction. So we had no idea. So it was really
So
nice
cool.
of her
Yeah.
to like drop, some pretty good news there, of course, for us. And, them mentioning things like, 24/7 live arena. That was a big, like, whoa. Like, I didn't expect that to happen.
There's a lot of news dropped in that, man. There was a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
go ahead.
no, so, I thought that was a really good, and, while we're talking about this, like, I think that communication was really nice. Like, I know some people weren't satisfied with some of the questions or the answers, but, we're kind of limited on what we could ask, like, yes or no questions, basically. But they were more generous with some of the answers and good news than we were expecting. So overall, like, that was a big W for us. Like,
Yeah, man, it was cool. I like the format too, of like just making it a bit more lighthearted, or a
yeah.
with the game and stuff like that. So you guys did a good job with it. So did Banana Jam too. But I agree with you, man. Even if the answers aren't good, I've always been a fan. Way back from when I covered other games with other developers, I've always been a fan of like a lot of communication, right? Like even if the news isn't good, it's better than silence. I feel like in questions. So I was thrilled, and coming on the heels of the free gear removal, man, I just like I don't know, that to me that's it really gave that, with the Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. I think it actually it gave a breath of fresh air to Raid. Do they still have work to do? Yeah, absolutely. Do they still have competitors putting out great games? Hell yeah. So like it's not like Raid's going to be on top forever type of sentiment, but it's like, oh, I feel like we needed a win and we got a couple.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. And that, what? That's a great way to wrap things up here. I think there's a lot of W's, at least recently from Raid. I think they definitely stepped up the game, and we're in the middle of this really cool collab that I think generally is well received. So overall, I'd say overall W's from Raid. Maybe we'll even things out a little bit and then throw some minor L's in there. I'll start off with my L here, and honestly, I still think the artifact management in this game is absolutely abysmal, especially the accessories. I think 99 out of 100 people would say the accessory management in this game needs some work. Like, there's just too many accessories, too many sets. They need to do a really good idea I actually heard was they need to do alliance accessories, basically combine the accessories into alliances instead of individual factions. So then you basically cut down the count by 4, like you divide it by 4 basically, right? So instead of, so I think that's a good solution, but obviously that just means people farm fighter less, or it makes it 4 times as likely that they'll get the proper accessory. So I don't know if that's a solution, but it sounds pretty good, chopping your inventory by 75%. But yeah, that's a big L so far, and right now they have no real solution in the horizon. So what about you? What kind of L do you got to end off the video here, Ash?
I agree with you. I think that I like the friendly battles coming to the game, but I don't like that they won't really. They kind of came out and said they're not gonna. They're happy with live arena without having like a. I really want one area in this game, and this is something that like would benefit you because it would showcase your skills right on a level playing field. But that's exactly what I want. Like, I would love an area of the game that we can compete in a draft format with standard levels, and all champions available. I know that they would never do it because they frankly can't monetize it at all, and but every other game that I play that has pay to win dynamics in it has at least one area where there's an even playing field, and to me that's a big bummer, especially in a game like Raid where there is such that huge discrepancy at times. I think that just give us some area. We'll have friendly battles where we can maybe arrange our own type of contests, but I was hoping for like rare only, epic only, like ladders on live arena, and them to do a little bit more with that. So I was kind of bummed out about that, in addition to the balance changes and stuff like that. So those are kind of my big L's from the recent news.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. Like, I would think that's a big change for Raid if they added like that kind of feature, and I think a lot of people would spend a lot of time in it. But from our dev talk, it sounded like they were kind of opposed to it. Like, they weren't convinced that they would be a big enough positive factor for everybody to participate in.
Fair enough, man. I'm not always right on everything, but it would be. Yeah, it just would be cool to have not esports per se, but like to have contests and stuff like that. But you need an even playing ground for that, and just doesn't exist in Raid,
Yeah, no, totally. That's something that Raid can definitely look into. Anyways, Ash, thank you so much for dropping by and sharing your thoughts on the pros and cons for Raid. Obviously, we can agree that Raid is a game that we love with a lot of passion, and there's a lot of W's that we can, obviously speak about in this game, but there's obviously still some glaring L's and that they can improve upon here. Anyways, but yeah, thank you so much, Ash. You got any last words here for the audience?
No, I mean, no, man. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure. I love talking Raid with you, man. I could talk for hours. But yeah, just keep up the great work, and let's do it again, before the next year.
All right. Thank you so much, Ash, for popping by. Once again, we do have a collab over on Ash's channel, so make sure you guys pop on there. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. We are talking about some free-to-play aspects on his channel there, so make sure you guys check it out and show him some love as well. Once again, guys, thank you guys for watching until the end. Appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.